Hiya folks, and welcome to another Irish Whiskey review with me, Marty McCauley. This is number 4 in the Spot Whiskey range and family. And tonight we're going to do, well, the eldest of the siblings, or he is the eldest, or she possibly, don't want to go Jim Murray, the Red Spot. Now, when Red Spot was released a while back, it did so with huge fanfare. There was people. It was almost orgasmic how people got on about Red Spot being released, and of course it all sold out in literally minutes. And people then stuck it on to flip it on auction sites, as is their wont. And I totally understand people want to collect them. It annoys me a little bit when people are trying to buy it to drink, and they're going to have to pay extortionate amounts of money to try and get tasting it. It's not really fair, but it's the way of the world. That's how people do things. And if I'm totally honest, pretty much everybody I know who is a whiskey fan has a little stash of whiskey that they've bought and thought, I'm not opening that. I've bought 2 of them. I'll open one. I'll keep one because it'll probably be worth a few pound, and I might open it and I might not. And I've stuff up the stairs that I've no intentions of opening because, well, I could sell it and buy myself something really nice with it at some point. So everybody's a little bit guilty of it, and he is who is without sin cast the first stone, but it does annoy me a little bit. Now, Red Spot is 15 years of age, so going in a bit of muddled order, it's the oldest. Yellow Spot 12, possibly 7 to 10, not really sure because it doesn't have an age statement mostly, and that's 7, so 7, 12, 15. Red Spot is 46%. It's bourbon, Spanish sherry butts, and Sicilian Marsala. Now, there's always a thing in me when you say Sicilian. I know this is I shouldn't really say this, but as soon as you say Sicilian, you think mafia. So you better like this. But no, it's kind of a little bit different to start with, because it's Spanish Marsala casks. These are not cheap things. You know, these are expensive things to buy, and when you're putting that investment into this, then there has to be a reason. Now, Irish distillers have the money to do this, so your expectations is quite high to start with. Now, the one thing I haven't talked about with all the rest of these is the branding on the bottles. Bear with me a second. I might lift this out. I just happen to have a bottle of Green Spot. The branding on this beautiful embossed white label, the gold lettering, I like. See, when a bottle does that to me, that noise, it's like when you hit a golf shot. Not that has ever happened to me too often, and it makes that lovely ping. You know you've hit it perfect, and it's just like a musical note. As I say, I like the branding, the embossed label. I think so. That's all good. Now, Red Spot, as I say, is the elder of the family, and automatically you're getting much deeper fruit. You're picking up your figs, your dark cherries. There's much more wood coming through. There's a few of the other ones had little wood notes in them. This has much darker, so it's got it's got a much richer, deeper cooked note to it. So you have that, and that's coming primarily from the Marsala casks. I'm going to say there's quite a lot of sherry coming there, but it's that Marsala Christmassy cake thing coming through. So there's a spice there, but it's like an allspice. Yeah. There's definitely a lot of oak notes coming through there. So you have deep fruit cooked. It's a richer flavour. You can tell that these are all siblings. There's a theme runs through them. They're basically all based on the fruit. But this at 46%. My instinct with this is automatically put a little bit of water in it. Just where that is. You'll notice I didn't do this with the yellow spot. Yellow spot I don't think needs it. Yellow spot is it's quite light and well balanced. This, I automatically reach for the water. And again, it's that cooked fruit. The oak's coming through quite heavy, but I don't think at 46% you're getting enough out of that. So I'm going to put half a teaspoon of water in it and let it sit for a little bit. The reason I'm doing that, I don't think it's balanced as well as the yellow spot. It's quite it's dark and heavy on the nose, but there's an impulse to just try and open it a little bit and let it breathe. And already it has lifted it. Instead of it being all the dark rich fruits, you're lifting it up and there's a nutty note coming off it now. So it's sort of balanced it out. There's still the dark fruits, but you're now getting a nice nutty, a nice nutty hazelnut. There's a little touch of chocolate there too that wasn't there before. Yeah. Now, on the tongue, and I'm going to have to talk about the tongue quite quickly because the finish on this is really quite long. On the tongue, you automatically get the pot still. There's a spice there that's not as pronounced as in some of the others. The finish is long unless it does develop on. There's a little spicy there that's more pepper than some of the others. It's a peppery, probably a more traditional idea of what you think a pot still is. Again, there's lots of oak, and it's funny because on the nose it's quite toasted, and then on the tongue it's not as toasted. It's actually a little fresher oak that comes through in the tongue and comes through again on the finish. The finish is long for a 15-year-old whiskey. It's longer than you would necessarily expect, and it develops quite a lot. It's so long that I'm talking about the nose, and it's still developing, and it's kind of hard. Otherwise, you just sit here in silence for 2 minutes, which probably you'll enjoy an awful lot more than listening to me. But the finish starts off. It starts off slightly vegetative, and then moves quite quickly to fruit, to some chocolate coming in, some coffee coming in, some spice then coming in. Again, there's fruit coming back in, and it just sort of plays all the way back. Again, really good, really good. This is about £120 a bottle. So realistically, you're talking 3 of these for one of these. Is it worth 3 times? Is it worth 3 bottles of that for one of them? It's a different thing, and it's really good, but I wouldn't necessarily say it is. The finish of it is exceptionally good, lengthwise, but it's got different flavours happening, but in terms of intensity of the flavours, no. In terms of value for money, I don't think it. If I'm honest, I don't think £120 for a bottle of it is particularly good value. Although in today's the crazy prices that people are charging for some whiskies these days are £120 isn't actually a huge amount now for a lot of whiskies, but when it's all said and done, you compare it to the rest of the family. Would I pay an awful lot more for red spot than I would for yellow spot? No, I wouldn't. And you're talking about £50 of difference. £50 is a significant amount of money. You could buy a yellow spot and a green spot for that. And although this is a different flavour and lots of people will like it, if I set you down a blind taste test, I don't think that's the one you would pick. I don't think there's an awful lot of people would pick that over some of the other 3. And for that, I'm going to give that a 7 out of 10. Now, out of the 4 of them, yellow spot's my favourite. And if I had to be honest, blue spot's my least favourite. So the most recent one is the one I like least. So, I hope you've enjoyed this little series of talks on the Spot family, and I shall hopefully see you on Saturday night when me and Justin whitter away at you on Facebook Live and also on YouTube. And please go and subscribe to the YouTube channel, which you're probably watching this on, but do share it with your friends and get them to come and listen to me whittering away about my thoughts about whiskey. And feel free to comment. I read them all. I try and read them all, and send me if you send me stuff, I'll try and answer it back again. So thank you very much for joining me again, and hopefully I'll see you again soon. Take care, folks. Bye bye.